Hello everyone and welcome to Extreme Events. Today we are talking about ingest, transcoding and quality control in the cloud. My name is Marina and I will be here with you for the next 30 minutes with Aurélien Brelle. Hello Aurélien.
Hello Marina.
Yeah, from Voodoo Technologies France, our long-standing ingest partner. So, Voodoo Technologies presented recently the new version of the ingest software where very many new cloud features were implemented and the very new user interface. We will be talking today about what exactly are these new features are and what can be moved in the cloud in ingest process and what not. What to expect from the cloud ingest and what are the challenges in using cloud features. Okay, let's start with the first question, Aurélien. How is the growing usage of cloud in the media industry impacting ingest workflows?
So the fact that our customers, the broadcasters, are moving more and more to the cloud is indeed impacting the ingest workflow. The level of impact depends a bit on the situation of the customer. Who are moving their entire production and post-production infrastructure to the cloud, which means that the ingest system should also move to the cloud, and that the storage, of course, that will be used, the primary storage that will be used for ingest will be cloud storage. So this is why we have added better support for cloud storage platforms into its 3.4. It's one of the new features that you've just mentioned before. But some customers are not moving everything to the cloud. Sometimes they're moving only the archive system to the cloud, or just to archive their content outside of their premises. And in that case, it becomes an additional destination for the ingest. You ingest on-prem and you ingest to the cloud at the same time, or after some period of time, depending on the workflow of the customer. And sometimes there is cloud even when there is no cloud. Let me explain. We have customers that still have their production infrastructure on premises and their post-production system on premises, but they have users everywhere, working from everywhere, especially since COVID, but even in general, more and more we are talking about remote ingest. And in that case, instead of ingesting straight from the location to the premises where the post-production system is, we often use cloud storage as well and cloud infrastructure to use it as a temporary storage between the sender and the system that remains on premises. So depending on the level of maturity of the customers with the cloud, the impact can be different, but there is definitely an impact.
Okay, great, thank you. You just mentioned that some of the customers move part of their production system in the cloud, some the whole system. Yeah, it depends on what are they doing actually. But is it possible to set up an ingest system entirely in the cloud? So everything in the cloud?
Yes. Almost 100% of the ingest system can be moved to the cloud. And we did it for some customers who are now running their full post-production in the cloud using cloud storage. And in that case, what we did with Intuit Exchange is that we deployed Intuit Exchange in the cloud. People can just with a web browser access a URL where they will use their credentials, login and password to authenticate against the ingest system. Of course, all the authentication is also managed in the cloud. So this is completely smooth and transparent for the users. And once they are logged in, they will get the right ingest experience depending on their role, depending on their rights. So maybe they will directly see our new upload UI where they can drop their files and ingest them to the cloud production system, or maybe they will be invited to download the full Intuit Access ingest client. In that case, there is still something installed on their laptop, but the destination of the media to be ingested is indeed in the cloud. We can deploy all the ingest system in the cloud and give the user the experience and the configuration that it needs to have, depending on the workflows defined by the administrators and depending on the rights of this user. So it can be actually quite easy and smooth to deploy such infrastructure. So sometimes it's even easier to deploy that in the cloud than it was before.
Okay, great. Sounds very effective and impressive. In this case, which cloud would you recommend? Public or private, or a hybrid system in general?
We are a software provider, so for us it doesn't matter. We have customers running systems in AWS. We have customers using Azure. We have customers using private data centers or private cloud providers. So it really doesn't matter as long as the network, the storage is sufficient, and it's generally the case when a big broadcaster decides to move its own infrastructure to the cloud. However, you mentioned hybrid, and hybrid is one of the most common scenario that we are seeing now, because as you know, the broadcasters have still have a lot to move to the cloud, and it's not generally possible to move everything at once, or rarely possible to do that. So we have a lot of hybrid solutions, which means that we have part of the ingest system that is in the cloud and part that is on premises, and sometimes it's even on several locations, several premises. So we can completely have hybrid solutions. In Intuit 3.4, one of the new features is the ability for one Intuit system to talk to another Intuit system and to trigger workflows in a different Intuit system. This is something we use a lot for hybrid deployments, where we have an Intuit Exchange running in the cloud that will start a workflow, and this workflow will be continued by another Intuit Exchange running on premises, or the other way around. So yeah, it doesn't really matter who the cloud provider is. What matters most is which workflow we want to deploy and
Okay, it's good to have a choice for the customers. So maybe some of them have been using some cloud services since some time, and then they can just move your software to the same cloud. That's very good. Okay, then to the next question. What are the challenges faced by customers deploying cloud ingest solutions? What are the challenges?
So the challenges also depends a bit on the customer situation. Of course, that's not always the same, but we see few of them that are regularly coming up and showing up, and that we have to solve for them. The first one is when you have multiple users located in different locations, and they have to ingest for a different type of workflows. The first challenge is, how do you manage that? How do you manage all this configuration? Because I don't know, some users will need transfer acceleration, some users won't need transfer acceleration, some users will directly ingest to the MAM, some others will maybe just park material on a storage, and the ingest to the MAM will happen later. So the first thing we need to address is what are the user groups, what are the workflows that you need to implement, and give a central place to the administrators to configure and to manage these users and this workflow. So this workflow management, users management is a first challenge that we address very well with Intuit profiles and all the Intuit user management layer that is quite powerful and intuitive. The second thing is the connection with the ecosystem, and especially when it comes to the metadata integration, because we take great care of the metadata integration in the workflows at Woody and in Woody tools in general, and we often need to connect directly to the media asset management system to populate metadata, to display metadata to the users from their remote location who are ingesting the content. So to address this, we have developed a quite powerful metadata extractor that is virtually capable of integrating with any media asset management, any newsroom system, and display these metadata fields, this list of values directly to the user in its using its own ingest interface. So that's quite a challenge to be compatible with all these systems and to be able to manage all the metadata types that you can need for such a workflow. It can be challenging also in case of hybrid deployments, because you don't always have the connectivity to the MAM from the ingest system if it's located in the cloud. But we have solutions for that. And this is something we can discuss with our customers to find the best solution. I would say that another challenge maybe is how do you oversight everything, oversight the operation. So this is why we have improved the monitoring and the dashboards in Woody to give a better view, a better understanding to the administrators about what's happening. And that one of the challenges when you have people dispatched in very different locations and a lot of workflows to provide a central view of what is going on, what are the workflows, what are the transfers in progress from where to where, and so on. So that's also something. And maybe last thing is about the transfer itself. Transferring content to the cloud or from the cloud can be done in many different manners using different protocols, and we are trying to find what is the most suitable for the customer depending on what kind of content they need to move, where are the users located, and so on.
Okay. From your experience, do customers expect to meet such challenges, or it's always kind of new and unexpected for this cloud deployment? No, it's not. It's generally not a surprise. That's because the ingest part is just a small part of their journey to the cloud, and these kind of questions are also important for all the aspects of the production and the post production. So. These are things that we can really well anticipate, and now we have also some experience with several customers having done this move to the cloud already. So we can easily identify what will be the points of attention or the challenging points for this or this workflow. That's something we are used to do. Okay, great. So as you mentioned some of your customers, let's now, I know that you prepared some information about the use cases of the ingest cloud-based use cases. Let's discuss them. Yes, I wanted to illustrate the two examples that I've given before, one for an hybrid solution and one with a full cloud solution. So the first one is this hybrid solution that we have built for our customer DPG Media in Belgium. This is on air for a few weeks or months now. So sorry, it's not this diagram, probably the next one. For DPG not this one again. For DPG Media, what we've done is that
we have deployed in the cloud an Intuit Exchange server to manage the users and the configurations for remote ingest by all the external users. And these external users can perform these ingest operations from laptops, from smartphones, even from remote workstations. And with this Intuit Exchange cloud server, cloud-hosted server, they can manage very easily, centrally, all the users and all the ingest profiles of their users. What is also interesting is that this cloud Intuit Exchange server is connected to their authentication provider. So their authentication provider is also in the cloud, and it means that people can use their company credentials to authenticate on the system, get the ingest profiles that they are supposed to use, and transfer content over internet to a cloud storage location gateway between the remote users and the ingest system on premises. So it's a good example of remote ingest to on-prem post-production system using cloud-hosted configuration, centralized cloud-hosted configuration, and cloud-hosted authentication for the users, which makes things easy for everyone, both the administrators and the users.
Do you know, maybe, Aurélien, what customers and users of Woody software say about this? You say that it was easy, but do you have any responses, anything like that? What do they say?
Oh yeah, for DPG, so they are already using it for a little while, and we have very good feedback from the users about the easiness of usage for the Woody tools. And what is also to mention is that for this customer, we are also using Intuit Exchange on-prem to push content to the cloud, and they're using heavily Google Drive as a cloud storage platform and exchange platform. And we have very nice workflows where users can export content from the post-production system on premises. They can order this export remotely thanks to the Avid Media Central Cloud UX platform that they are using for post-production. And they can directly export with Intuit Exchange this content to Google Drive with transcoding happening on the go, and they can get an email with the download link of what they have exported. So that's then back to the cloud. After the remote ingest, we have the export to the cloud for this finished content. And the second customer I wanted to mention today is a sports network, a European sports network, and they have deployed a Woody installation with a full cloud MAN system. So in their case, there is nothing on premises. They are just pushing content from the various ingest points, the various ingest locations, so it can be where an event happens. It can be directly from their office. It can be people working from home. And all these users can use Intuit Access and the new Intuit Upload UI for Intuit Exchange to push content from their laptop or from their workstation or from their Mac station directly to the cloud. And in their case, we use the Signiant as a transfer accelerator, but we have also a backup workflow using S3 as a gateway storage between the clients and the servers. So it's quite easy for them to push this content to the cloud. And I think that this was quite efficiently used already since it has been deployed.
Okay, so it means that you have already quite a lot of experience with the cloud-based ingest systems. And in terms of your usage of your software, what are the most demanded cloud-related features by your customers?
So we have different kind of features that are required. We have the features related to the transfer of the file, so how to accelerate the transfers, how to resume the transfers, and for that part, we integrate a lot of third-party solutions that are very good at it, and that can be used directly in Intuit software. The second aspect of the customer demand is to have something easy to deploy, because principle of the cloud is that you don't want to have things to install on the clients or to configure. It has to be easy. And this easy side of things is something we are really intensively focusing on to provide something where you can just with a link and a user password get access to what you need and start ingesting your content. So that's another big demand. We have growing usage of our smartphone app, the Intuit Access smartphone app, to ingest directly from your smartphone. That's something that is very common now and very useful for the journalists to directly send the content from their smartphone over the internet to the central production system. And what is not yet done, but we have some plans for that, is the integration of AI technologies to enrich the content or mainly to enrich the content during the ingest process. So the the role of AI will be growing in the future.
Okay, great. As far as I know, a few weeks ago you released a new version of Woody Intuit software 3.4. And what are the new cloud-based features in this release?
So you're right, we've released Intuit 3.4 after several months of work. And this is bringing more than 50 new features to our customers. And this was already used by some of our customers in a beta program during the past months. In terms of cloud integration and cloud workflows, what Intuit 3.4 is bringing is first a better integration with cloud storages. We have completely rewritten our integration with AWS S3, Azure Storage, Google Cloud Platform, Google Drive that I mentioned before, Dropbox, and others. So we have now various more advanced options to push content to these platforms and to retrieve content from these platforms, because as you mentioned earlier, we have a lot of hybrid deployments. So it's important to send content to the cloud, but also to retrieve content from the cloud. This is one of the big new features of Intuit 3.4. Also cloud-related, we have the new upload UI for Intuit Exchange. This new upload UI is something very drastically simple that you can see on the screen right now to easily upload content to your production system with the advantage of enriching the content with metadata from the step one. And this is very important for our customers, that people are not just uploading content, but people are uploading content with the right metadata to the right place and so on. And this new upload UI is totally done for that. It can be used on a Mac or a Windows computer very easily. You have just a small agent to install that installs automatically, and then you can start uploading. You can have the benefit of the ingest profiles that has been configured by the administrators. You can use the transfer acceleration protocols that we support, so you can get accelerated transfers to the cloud. And very important, you can get all the metadata that are relevant for this workflow and that are defined by the administrators. So there are many use cases for this new upload UI, like external production companies working with you and providing content, people working on the field and needing to send a few pieces of video and pictures and audio, people at their desk in the newsroom who need to upload a few pieces of content. Also, we have the customer recently who said, good idea to give that to reality TV candidates so they can do their own video at home and upload them, and they arrive directly in the MAM, transcoded at the right format and with the right metadata. So, but that's a very interesting new feature that has been released with Intuit 3.4. Otherwise, what can I say? We have improved the capability of Intuit Exchange to be itself deployed in the cloud, and we've seen before that we have already some example of that. And we have also included for these remote workflows a download center that is standing in the Cloud Intuit Exchange instance, where people can directly download the Intuit Access client. So they can directly be autonomous to install their Ingest client and start ingesting their camera cards and their files to the cloud. So these are a few of the new features that we have added in Intuit 3.4 and that are of course helping for cloud workflows. But there are a lot of features, other features not related to cloud, but still very valuable for our customers.
Okay, sounds very impressive. By the way, if you are interested, you can always request a free trial. It lasts for months, and you can try and test it yourself. Coming to one of the last questions, and I think I know the answer.
Yeah.
How complex is to deploy a cloud ingest solution with the Woody?
It's generally not very complex. This cloud part, as I said, is generally not the most complex to deploy. It depends on the integrations that are required with the existing ecosystem. But we have native integration with the authentication providers. We have easy deployment in virtual machines in any cloud provider, AWS, Azure, GCP. So most of the aspects of the deployment can be done very quickly. And we have also test instances that are available. So if some of the customers want to try it out, it's really easy and can be configured in a few minutes. So know that most of the time will be about discussing what you want to do, what is the workflow that you want to implement, and what kind of integration you need with your existing ecosystem. That's basically all we need to discuss, and then we can get started. That's quite easy, scalable as well. Of course, if you have to add more users in the future, we can scale easily the installation that is in the cloud to support more user connections. So that's not generally not very complex.
Yeah, so I thought. I expected that. And the last questions. What are your plans for the future in terms of cloud ingest and in general?
So we know that our customers will continue to move to the cloud. What we want to do is to make the deployments even easier than they are today, especially when the deployment is done in the private cloud instance of our customers and not in our own cloud-hosted platform. We want also to offer more features about monitoring statistics to help the customers to understand and understand the usage of the system and size the systems correctly, and adjust the system to the actual workload and usage. We are working on improving the processing on cloud stored assets without the download steps, upload steps that are at the moment necessary. So this is one of the targets to improve that. And as I told you before, we are looking at what AI can bring in these ingest workflows. And in all the workflows that we are offering, of course, because we are not only doing ingest at Woody, so we have a product named Intuit Social that is focused on finding content from the web and from social networks that is relevant for the news editing, and of course get this content available to the news editors. And this is where we are planning to integrate AI first to offer new features to our customers that will be coming early next year. And we'll tell more about that when it's available.
Okay, so then we are looking forward for the early next year and talk to you soon there about that. Okay. Thank you very much for such an insightful information from your side, Aurélien. Thank you everyone for being with us.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. And we can meet in the demo room for people who want to see more about Woody in a few minutes. I will be there.
Yep. Thank you everyone for being with us today during this talk about Cloud Ingest with Aurélien Brelle from Woody Technologies, our long-standing Ingest partner. We will meet in a few minutes in a coffee bar if you have some questions for Aurélien, and then a little bit later in a demo room online on our website. Aurélien will be there and will be ready to show you the software live. Thank you very much and see you later.
I hope the coffee is good.
Yeah, me too.